Alright guys, I'm going to get into 3 more stocks to watch this week. I will probably be most likely buying all 3 of these. And if you didn't see my previous video of 5 stocks that I'm going to be buying, I'll leave a link below or I'll leave a link in the end screen. But first we're going to bring it on up with Palantir, that is PLTR. You do see that previously it does have a lot of support right at about 21. So we may test that on Monday, or we may test that this week, and if it bounces off, I will be buying for sure. I do like that it bounces off of it quite often, although you do see that it dropped through, but this was only about a about a 8-9 day period that it dropped under 21. So I do like this one. I think the risk is very low. But looking at the RSI, it is a little bit oversold, and it is flirting with oversold on like the 1 month and the 3 month, but definitely in a territory that I like. But I do like Palantir, and I can easily see this coming back up for an easy, swing trade up to about $26 or so. It does this quite often. I've gone in and out of this one, I want to say about 3 times now. I do have some shares. I also have 2022 calls, but I would be buying a little bit more here. I do like the price it's at, and I'll happily buy more and write it up to about $26. So that's my plan for this one. Just a nice swing trade. If it takes a month, that's fine. If it takes 2, that's cool too. But I do see this coming up here in the near term. And next up, I want to get into aquestive. That is ticker symbol AQST. And this is another favorite of mine. We have a catalyst coming up December 23, I believe, is the FDA deadline. You will see that the MACD is curling upwards on the 1 month, the 3 month, 6 month. I want to see it test that 6 and break out. I do see short-term traders coming into this one mid-December, jumping in and just jumping out up on that FDA date, maybe the last 2 weeks leading up to it, but it has been on a nice steady rise. Slowly but surely, with a little bit of hiccups on the way. Ever since I was talking about this, I believe around here, it did pull back a little bit, and then it just started rising, and it's been on a very nice uptrend ever since. I feel like we'll definitely find some resistance at about 630. It has found resistance there a few times. It does kind of just bounce around 6 to 625 or so, 630. But I'm definitely bullish on aquestive. I do have some shares of this and also some calls actually. Some February 2022 calls that I will be writing up into December, and depending on what happens here, I do have a couple of them, so I will probably close a couple out and take a profit if it runs up, coming up to that FDA trial date. And I do see this running up to the 6s again, no doubt. But I could definitely see this mid-December at about $7 or so, testing that $7 level and trying to burst higher, especially as the FDA news comes closer and we hear more coverage about it, more news outlets start bringing aquestive therapeutics up. And yeah, if you want one of my aquestive videos where I kind of go into more detail about this one, not just from a technical analysis, I'll leave a link below, or you can just look at my past videos. I do cover this one from time to time. And next up, another stock that's just been beaten down. That's going to be Any, and this one is Sphere 3D. They are supposed to be merging with Griffin, but they did have to delay the merger, mostly because of regulatory reasons, because all the executives are on board with this one. They're just obviously waiting, but we're going to be waiting until Q1 of 2022. It was going to be the end of this year, but they did push it back. Looking at it from a chart standpoint, we are here at about 522 from after hours, so it's almost like a double bottom. It could continue higher and work on that 575 to break out, because we did have, it was a support, now it's our resistance, and we'll have to break out of that to move higher. But I feel like this is kind of going to just stay stagnant it's going to stay range bound from about 550 moving forwards to probably 6 for a while until we get closer to that merger. Even if they don't merge with Griffin, all hope is not lost. Now you will see here that Sphere 3D did execute their first Bitcoin agreement with the manufacturer for the purchase of 60,000 Bitcoin miners. And deliveries were actually supposed to commence in November 2021. We should be hearing about this very soon. And this is going to take over the next 10 months. And this whole delivery, this will actually give them a 5.7 exahash of computing power. And that's on current difficulties. So in the future, it'll likely be maybe 5, 5.2, something like that, in my opinion. But definitely bullish on Sphere 3D. On top of this 60,000 that they are already purchasing, they have the ability to acquire another 160,000 miners, so a total of 220,000, which would give them 21.5 exahash at current difficulty. Keep in mind of that. But do keep note that upon assignment of the contracts, but I'll leave a link below for you guys if you want to get into more detail on this one. I've brought this one up before. I just want you to be aware that, even if the merger doesn't happen, they are still working on the Bitcoin side of things, Bitcoin mining. A couple of stocks that I do think deserved an honorable mention, and I didn't get to them in my last video. But thanks again, guys. I am very excited also for Astra. That is just going to go crazy on Monday, in my opinion. They did succeed on their rocket launch and make it to orbit. I think that is set to explode. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What stocks are you guys going to be watching this week? Thanks again, guys. I'll see you on the next one.